What's going on, America? This is Kevin in Kevin's Corner. And it looks like the triple D's done did it again. And what I mean by triple D's is a code word for the dirty, dumb Democrats, okay? See, I gotta put code words in my titles nowadays because, you know, YouTube, if they knew I was really calling them the dirty, dumb Democrats, they would demonetize me immediately, I'm sure. But nonetheless, the triple D's done did it again. And what I mean by that is they have stepped out there and stuck their foots in their mouths. Now, of course, you know they're rooting for all the other teams besides the United States. That's just a given. They don't care if we're fighting against the Russians, the Iranians, the North Koreans, anybody who is opposed to Donald Trump, then they root for. That's just automatic. I mean, we could be fighting against the devil and they'd be rooting for the devil. If Donald Trump was like, you know what, we're going to go down there and we're going to confront Satan and we're going to blow up hell, they would be like, leave hell alone. Satan's not, you know what Donald Trump's doing? He's demonizing all the demons, okay? That's what Donald Trump is doing. He's just saying because one fallen angel is evil, then that must mean all the fallen angels are evil. And see, that's racism and it's speciesism, okay? Even though angels aren't the same species as us, but to say that all of them are fallen angels and they're all demons, then that's speciesism, okay? Yeah, see, that's the logic of the left. And so when Donald Trump said that he was canceling the meeting, most practical people say, you know what? I got a gut feeling that's a tactic being used by Donald Trump. It's the same tactic that North Korea uses. You know, they're just jockeying for power to see, you know, who's going to give first, who's going to give the most. And Donald Trump pretty much said, you know what? I'm not going to let you pull my card. I'm not going to let you control the narrative. I'm not going to let you dictate our behavior. We're not sweating you to the point where we're willing to tolerate anything just to get a deal across. And so he pulls it off the table, and the Democrats rush in like always, and they come to the aid of, I guess, North Korea. And it's almost like they would rather see this negotiation fail versus Donald Trump succeed and actually broker a peace deal. And now it appears that Kim Jongun is now coming back to the table like, uh-oh, I might have went a little too far on the rhetoric. I got to pull back now. Look, man, we trying to really still, can we just talk? Can we just, look, I'm just saying, can we talk? See, that's when you start seeing you have the advantage when you just simply say, forget it, man, I'm gone. And they go, wait, come back. It's like the used sales carman. You know, they go in there and they're like, this is the lowest I can go. And they sit back like, okay, let me put the ball in this person's court. And you're like, that's the lowest you can go? Okay, well, I'm cool then, man. I'm going to get on out of here. And then they go, wait. Tell you what, let me go talk to my manager. I'm going to go talk to my manager and we'll see what I can work out. Right there, you know, you got them on the hook, okay? So the bottom line is now they're coming back saying, let's talk about this. Don't go too far now. Now, if he brings this deal back on the table and we take it, imagine the spin that Nancy and the rest of her crew and the media that all laughed and rejoiced. Imagine the spin they would have to put on it to make it seem like their rejoicing and their criticism was justified. I'm interested in seeing how they would do that if he able to bring this deal back to the table. And so the dirty dumb Dems always jump out there way ahead of time and start throwing out statements just to make Trump look bad and not realizing what happens if you're proven wrong. Like when they said, oh, Donald Trump said that Obama was wiretapping him. This guy's crazy. Now all of a sudden we find out that they were surveilling them. And now what are they saying? They ain't saying, you know what, we made a boo-boo, y'all. Nah, they ain't saying that. They just say, you know what, let's act like we never said that and move on to the next false narrative again. And now with the whole spy thing, it is hilarious because Adam Schiff gets out there and he thinks that we're stupid. Now, here's the thing. Some people don't understand information operations. They don't understand, propaganda. They're so blinded by their hatred for Trump, and they've been so manipulated by the media and the phony, funky, dirty, nasty Democrats that they don't stop and put two and two together. They don't look at the careful wording that is said, so it can let them off the hook if it ever comes out that, yeah, they were spying on the Trump campaign. So he says, the evidence I saw today shows nothing new. I mean, it shows that it doesn't say that the FBI planted a spy in the Trump campaign or did anything inappropriate. Now, notice the choice of words. Didn't plant a spy in. So now, when it comes out later on that they didn't put a spy directly inside the campaign, but instead what they did is they sent people to members of the campaign, so from the outside in, to just establish relationships, chew the fat with them, and try to set up a scenario where they can say, hey, these people offered some dirt from Hillary Clinton's emails from the Russians, and they took it. Yeah, of course we know these people weren't inside the campaign, but they were sent to the campaign to gather information on the campaign and to go back to the FBI and relay that message. What is that called? A spy. And see, even the fact that you're trying to spin it and say we were doing this for Donald Trump. We didn't want him to fall victim to the Russians trying to infiltrate his campaign. Now, here's my first thought. They're saying that people in Trump's campaign talked to the Russians. Who? What name? Give me some names. Who did Carter Page talk to that you say that person, that Russian person, was connected directly to Putin and was a spy? Or George Papadopoulos? Who exactly? They're throwing out Russians. Just one big blanketed word. The Russians. Okay, that doesn't tell me anything. That's once again propaganda. Black people, white people, Asian people, the police are racist. When you start throwing that out there, you don't have facts. That's what that tells me. You can't sit back and say, this police officer did this. That police officer, you just say police officers. Just like they're saying the Russians tried to infiltrate our democracy and our voting system. Who? Pick me out a couple Russians, identify them so we can go after them. Number two, if there were particular Russians that y'all were suspicious of, then you should have went to the Trump campaign and said, hey, listen, we got a gut feeling these 3 operatives from Russia is going to be trying to contact some people in your crew. Let's put a wire on them so we can actually catch the criminals, not the Trump campaign and Donald Trump, see? So that would have been a proper way to go about, trying to identify Russian spies. You bug your people, and when contact is made, your people relay that information. But they didn't do that, did they? And if they were simply worried about the Russians trying to infiltrate Donald Trump's campaign, why weren't they worried about the Russians trying to infiltrate Hillary's campaign? I don't understand. They should have said, you know what, we might need to send some people to people in Hillary's camp too, to see if they'll take the bait, okay? And look who they sent people to. They didn't send people to people in Trump's campaign that can actually make a difference. They handpicked some low-level people who was expendable, and they tried to send somebody to them to start this narrative that will give them some leverage to say, now we have a legitimate reason to start surveilling the Trump campaign. These people are so dirty and corrupt. That is why. And you know what? The dirty Dems is down with them as well, because they're defending this crap and they're coming out trying to throw out alternative narratives to soften the impact, that when we find out who these people are and what they tried to do, it won't seem as sinister. Yeah, they're trying to soften it, and they're getting on board with Clapper and all the rest of them funky, nasty cronies that was in the FBI and the CIA. They're getting on board with them and say, come on, y'all, we got to huddle up. We got to come up with something now. Just, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get out there and we're going to flip the terms. Instead of saying spy, we're going to say personal intel operator or whatever they're trying to come up with. Yeah, that's what we're going to say. And instead of saying we were spying on the Trump campaign, we'll just simply say we were spying on the Russians. And just because the Russians happen to be trying to infiltrate the Trump campaign, then we accidentally got a little information about them as well. Even though we can't identify these Russians, we're not going to call them back over here. Even though we didn't bug Trump's campaign members so that we can catch those Russians, even though we had one of those so-called spies in our custody, but we just let them go. Even though we tried to go to another Russian operative that we work with and try to get him to come on board with this narrative, and he said, man, that's crazy. No, I'm not jumping onto that. Even though we tried to bring him into this to verify and make the story look more, substantial. No, that wasn't what we weren't trying to build false narratives. We were looking out for Donald Trump. That's all we were doing. We didn't feel the need to look out for Hillary's campaign, though. No, that wasn't it. We didn't feel the need to send anybody to her camp to surveil them. No, just Trump's people. And we didn't feel the need to go and tell them and warn them and brief them, even though that would have been the protocol. We didn't feel the need to do that. And now we're going to lie right to everybody's face in America and say, yeah, well, there was spying. Because, see, that's what James Clapper said versus some of the other ones. He said, yeah, there was spying. And I hate to use this word. Tried to downplay, but they were spying, but it was on the Russians. And then Joy had the nerve on The View say, well, then Donald Trump should be happy about this, right? And James Clapper said, well, yeah, he should be happy. And I wanted to jump through the TV and just, the whole neck. I wanted to squeeze the whole neck into my hand and just bobblehead, just like that, like on the cartoons where you squeeze the neck so hard the head just get big. That's what I want to do to James Clapper, lying on American TV funky station, trying to tell the people that, yeah, it was a good thing. And Trump should be rejoicing and thanking us. But look what he's doing. He's actually trying to come up with some false narrative that the FBI and all of them are the deep state and they tried to sabotage him and frame him. That is ridiculous. Even though all the evidence point towards it, even though we can't explain why we broke all protocol when in this quote unquote investigation, in this information operation, we can't explain any of that, but it's still crazy. And I don't know why he's undermining the justice system. See, when you break it down like this, any practical person can see that this is stupid. This is corrupt. This is something that the dirty, dumb Dems and the rest of the people, so top level people in the FBI and the CIA concoctioned. That's all it is. So the dirty, dumb Dems is at it again. The triple Ds trying to spin stuff, trying to spin it. My man, Adam Funky Schiff. Yeah, I mean, we didn't plant a Russian spy an FBI spy in the Trump campaign. Yeah, watch later on. That's going to be his defense. I never said they didn't say they spied on him. Yeah, of course they spied on him, but it wasn't in the Trump campaign. See, see, got to catch those words. Anyway, I'm smarter than the average bear, and that's why I picked up on that crap. And I hope you're smarter than the average bear as well. You've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner. Check me out on Facebook, on Twitter. Stay away from them triple Ds, man. They'll get you. The dirty, dumb Dems. I'm telling you, stay away from them. In 2018, run from the triple Ds. Run from them, okay? God bless you for listening. Share this, hit like, hit the notification button. If you want to support Kevin's Corner, there's links in the bottom to do that as well. And we'll catch you next time in Kevin's Corner. God bless.